Welcome, guys, to Club 33 podcast featuring Sky High Fan, my Juicebox, and myself, Dragon Sled. This is our first series. We plan on doing this podcast once a month to talk about every single bit of DSA that we can. As long as DSA is around, I don't think this podcast is going to end. So, guys, let's have a first good one. Introduce yourselves, and let's get this started.
Juice, you want to go first?
Sure. My name is my Juicebox. You probably see me on Twitch. That's all I pretty much do. I don't create any other content on YouTube or anything like that. I do try to do some guest appearances on people's videos and whatnot. But I've been playing about DSA since about 3 weeks after launch, and been having a pretty good time. Know a lot about the game, and I like sharing content with the rest of you guys too.
All right, and then hey, I'm Sky High Fan. I don't stream that much, honestly. I stream every once in a while. I have a very weird perspective on the game. That's kind of my bit, where my favorite part of the game is the grind, not actually playing it. So I kind of have a different perspective than some other people, and I like to theory craft and do math on to figure out what the most effective farming routes are for myself and others. But yeah, that's kind of my bit.
Well, awesome. So you now have seen all the hosts. Maybe we should just get straight into our topics for discussion. So obviously,
Hey, who are you?
Did I not introduce myself? I'm sorry.
You gotta introduce yourself.
Okay, sorry about that. So my name's Dragon Slayer. I have a YouTube channel and I have a Twitch channel, and I stream Wednesdays through Fridays and occasionally on the weekends. And I've been making DSA content since about August or maybe late July, somewhere around there. And so we're going about like 4 or 5 months. I started playing DSA in May, so not a launch player, but still pretty OG player for DSA. So yeah, let's just get straight into the actual topics. Obviously, the first topic is going to be raids and what we think about them, our first thoughts, what it means for the game, and how it will change the community, etc. Let's go for maybe like raid currency first. What do you guys think about the raid exchange raid currency?
I mean, it's good. I feel like you're getting enough tokens that you should be, based on whether you're doing it on tier 4, tier 5, or heroic. Mm-hmm. It sounds like at least the exclusive tier 0.75 pieces that you're buying, you know, the gears, if you're buying for downtown heroes or whatever type of class you're going for, it seems like they're very easy. Like they're definitely doable to get. It's not like it's going to take weeks or even a month to get your first tier 7.5 piece with that gear requirement. So I think the tokens are pretty good. The actual amount they're giving out is pretty decent. It's nothing like alarming or anything like that. But you know, no one's going to be buying character tokens or anything like that. It's pretty much going to be exclusive gear unless people, you know, start making poor decisions on how to use that currency. But I think it's good.
I have seen people talk about the getting character tokens though from the raid currency.
Yeah, don't get the tokens. God, it's so bad. It's literally a bait to make you make a mistake. That's literally the only reason the tokens are there.
Mm-hmm. People got excited because they saw Big Hero 6 and like G, for instance. Exactly, they're farmable. I don't think there's any exclusive in the raid currency from what I remember. I could be wrong though, of course.
No, I don't think they are. The one I agree with most of Juice's points. The one minute problem I have is that some of the new gear they introduced along with the raid exclusive gear, like the T7 or the T7 tenacity crit type gear, those aren't available in that shop. So that's the one thing I am a little bummed about, because I feel like it's a piece that's largely associated with raids because it's the only way to earn it in game, apart from farming it. And they're like, those are some of the hardest. Like if you're trying to get your hero gear 8 right now, that's like one of the hardest things for me is just getting those stupid crit gears. And so I'm kind of bummed that all the tier 7 gear isn't at the shop that's supposed to be borderline dedicated towards it.
That's fair. Moving on, I guess into the actual raid. I've been having, I think, the most trouble in terms of phases is gonna be Glut for me right now. Definitely gonna be Glut. I just don't have the cleansers to really stop Glut. I mean, I don't know. What are you guys finding to be the most difficult tier so far?
You can go first, Guy.
Yeah, I'll agree with Glut. I think, I have, for instance, in my account, I have one cleanser. I have Baymax. So once I use my Baymax, my other teams do like nothing to glut. See, what if you can't get off there's just so much harmful effects. So you need a very specific type of team, a very focused team. And later on, we're gonna see people have those focused teams. But right now, it's so limited because so you have that one shot where you're able to do like a little bit of damage, but still less than the rest of the tiers. But apart from that, I feel like your teams that aren't strong really just do nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's almost kind of discouraging a little bit. Like for someone currently me who has pretty much no cleansers, like I'm not going to count Bubbles' ticket as a cleanse. Well, it cleanses, but it's not a pure cleanse. It's not like it's nowhere near compared to Baymax. It's nowhere compared to Merlin. So if you don't have any type of cleanses, you're pretty much you're putting in all your best teams to get in a couple attempts, which you don't survive that long pretty much at all. And that's all you can do on the first phase. Glut's a pretty big DPS check. It's a pretty big gear check. And for me, at least, I don't fulfill a lot of the requirements for it. It's a quick phase for me because I can't really do much at all, regardless of kind of synergies and whatnot. But at least it's a kind of a roadblock to start off the raid. It's nothing too easy to get by, but it's kind of frustrating a little bit. But by now we're starting to figure it out a little bit more. And I am finally going back and getting Merlin and Sorcerer's Tournament Exchange. So hopefully be able to get him and kind of help me out a little bit. But yeah, it's kind of frustrating, but it's not like rage inducing or anything like that.
True. I just was able to do phase 4 for the first time, like the other day. It was actually a lot of fun. I was like, I don't have like the best characters for it. For instance, I just have like Kingdom basically and Frozen team, but my big hero 6 is getting up there. But I was actually having some success with Elsa a little bit, and for me, actually, Shan Yu for the Kingdom team, he's the one who usually is a damage dealer, and also, ironically, I wasn't expecting this, but Jasmine, actually, she can do some decent damage with Raja, which kind of surprised me. But the problem with Jasmine is I was like looking at her kit, for instance, and I'm about to get her to gear tier 6 to get her for, heroic eventually. But her kit really shines at gear tier 7. If you look, that's where you can get like her extra assist and stuff like that. So that's like the only downfall. No, like not downfall, but like the hard part about Jasmine is just that you need to get her that gear tier 7. I'm pretty sure you guys are definitely aware how long of a grind it can be to get someone to gear tier 7 for sure.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's a problem a lot of people are coming up with this raid is they look and they say, wow, look at this character, does so many great things once you get to gear 7. But you know how long it takes a character to get to gear 7, especially if they're only usable in raids? So it's a problem that a lot of low spenders or dolphins are going to see, I think, just moving forward, where it's really going to take so much time for a lot of us to be able to do the big damage in this raid.
Yeah. Hey, Dragon, on our list of topics tonight, obviously this serving as a podcast is going to be kind of serve as a capture of time, definitely based on like right now. Are we going to talk about Tinkerbell in the raid tonight?
We could definitely talk about Tinkerbell. Did you see that picture I sent? Right.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't
diverge the topic, but obviously I feel like that's something we should probably highlight it. Because when we go back and look at it, we'll be like, guys, remember when Tinkerbell was insane in the raid, and now they nerfed her. Or they removed turn or limiting turn meter reduction on raid bosses and things like that. Like they may fix this very soon.
I see, but like this is very similar to Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. Like turn meter control is raids.
So what exactly did Tinkerbell do? I mean, I saw that picture. Obviously, I sent it to you guys. That was from Cozy, and I mean, I've never seen any character do above like maybe 300,000, and here you have freaking Bubbles doing 5.4 million damage. I mean,
nuts.
That's like someone's entire raid damage for like the big shots in a club. At least that's like for me. I think we just did tier 5, and the highest guy in terms of damage did like just under 5 million damage, and here Cozy just did it with Bubbles in just one attack, and it looks like he completed the phase for his team, which is pretty crazy.
I think the overall concept, and I could be wrong, and feel free to correct me if I am wrong, but I think the concept involves getting tactics on the Tinkerbell, which involves her basic, I believe, stripping turn meter every turn or something like that. Her main ability, I'm not sure exactly which ability it is. I have to look back at her kit, but just being able to just continuously strip speed meter or turn meter. And then you also have stare down. And if you have tactics on bubbles, you're stripping 70% rather than the 50%, I believe, by default. So yeah, from what I've been told, one based on what your lineup could be, could it be possible to solo like a heroic by yourself? Like based on how things line up, it could be possible, maybe.
I definitely think so.
It's kind of crazy this early on, though, for that to happen.
But there's like a lot of interactions that we haven't found and like we haven't perfected. Like I recently went into a weird end game where I had bubbles and a cauldron, and I gave tactics to the cauldron and speed up, so that every time the cauldron went, bubbles went, and then the cauldron was giving bubbles like enough magic to stare down Glut over and over again. So I got like 20 turns for Glut's 1. So there's like so many completely broken things out there that we haven't found yet.
So the question is, when are they going to fix it? Are they going to fix it, or when?
I mean, the big thing is the higher the raid, the lower the higher the tenacity, if I'm not mistaken. But like, I really don't think that like this is what they want. They want Tinkerbell and Merlin to be amazing in the raid, so you have to pay to get them up.
So you think for now they're going to keep them OP because obviously the whales have already spent their money and bought them, and you're thinking that other maybe lower tier players or clubs are going to have their players going to start basically either buying or really hardcore farming these characters, and in turn spend money in the short term just so they can do this raid pretty easily. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, and because that's what I've seen other games do, and that's the company decision to make. This is acting as intended as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, here's what I'll say: if they're gonna nerf it, they're going to do it really quick. And if they don't do it really quick, then they're not going to do it at all. Because the reason why I say that is because I don't know if this is true. This isn't 100%, but I don't, when the raid first came out on that Tuesday or Wednesday, week or 2 weeks ago, there was that whole thing where we believe that Glue hot fixed the whole charm thing on the bosses. I know that Thumper was streaming at the time, and he had this whole charm team set up that was supposed to work in theory. And then on paper, it said the bosses weren't charmable, but then he went into the first battle and then you couldn't charm them. So we didn't know if they put in a hot fix, if they delayed the actual raid to fix that. But this is going to gain definitely speed, and Glue's going to know about this. They probably already know about it. So if they're going to nerf it, it's going to be very soon. And if they don't, I feel like it's going to stay. So I feel optimistic about it.
Yeah, that's a great point, Juice.
My question is, what happened to Horn King? Now with all the talk with like Tinkerbell and Merlin and stuff, seemed like Horn King has kind of taken a step back. And also Davy was a big talk too. I'm not saying that they're not going to be useful in the raids, but obviously with what they're talking about now, that could definitely change because of what they're seeing, as long as they don't fix it, as you guys were saying.
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing is just how important control is. Some of these other characters, Horn King, Davy Jones, they're great and they do damage, but they do damage and then they die. These characters, they can go infinite, close to, doing 7 million damage. That's impossible if you aren't completely controlling the boss.
That's true. I mean, at least Horn King are still they're still useful. Davy's still useful. So it's absolutely. At least they've gained some type of value. Yeah, they're not on the like elite level or like the S tier level like Merlin or Tinkerbell or like Bubbles would be in the raid. But at least they're used. I probably will put Horn King last. I'm farming Merlin again in Sorcerer's Tournament Exchange because I already have Tinkerbell 7-star, but I'll probably go for Horn King after just because I have so many tokens hoarded up. But yeah, at least they're usable. I do think it's kind of cool. You guys may agree. Like, I think it's cool how obviously this first raid is Ursula, the Forbidden Depths, or it's an Oceanic raid, and like the best team is also Oceanic. So I think that's kind of cool. They kind of kept I don't know if they meant for that to stick, the whole theme to be similar, but at least it's not like Big Hero 6 taking apart Ursula. It's like it's another Oceanic team that's taking out Ursula, which is pretty cool.
I do think it's funny that all the best teams putting out the best damage aren't running Eric Triton.
That's true. I did notice that, but people
Hmm.
they're still being claimed. Eric Triton and Ariel are. I think is it a specific phase where they're like basically king of a phase, or where are they still MVP per se? Do you know?
I don't honestly, and that's something that's above my pay grade because I don't I'm not in a club that spends that much. I don't spend that much, so very few people in my club have those characters up, and they're gonna be useful. They're gonna do good things, but again, we're just seeing controls king. If you can't control their turn meter, you're being less efficient than people who are.
Yeah, I want to say I'm not 100% on the current best phase where you're running the Little Mermaid trio, but I'd assume that they're good in that they're good in most all phases at least, but one doesn't stick on in particular. At least they're not bad though. Like I said, I didn't spend any money on either Eric or Triton, and I waited till the raid to come out to see if they're actually worth it. It's kind of just, I mean, after where we're at now, like there's no reason for me to even buy a Eric bundle or a Triton bundle. We can just keep farming them kind of free to play. But it looks like Tinkerbell is the one to go for right now, or even Merlin too. But yeah, I mean, they're good. At least they're not bad, but they're not like super OP. If they're super OP, then it's like, yeah, that's really going to adjust how you're going to start farming, at least
Mhm.
going for them.
That totally caught me off guard, though, that Tinkerbell would come out as this, the MVP out of nowhere, at least so far from what we've seen. I wasn't expecting that, but going back to what Juice was saying, it's kind of cool that they did keep the Oceanics, the MVP team so far in this raid, but it kind of makes you wonder if for the other raids that come in the future, let's say they come with the Maleficent raid, we don't know. I think Maleficent, is she Kingdom, I believe, or Mythicals?
She's Kingdom.
She's Kingdom. Then, well, it might make sense with this Beauty and the Beast team as well to have a good, strong Kingdom set. And I guess that's another thing we talk about maybe a little later, but with the whole new possible legendary with Beauty and the Beast, of course, coming up. But I think just like in all, like this raid so far it's been a cool learning curve for a lot of people. It's definitely exposed my roster, because I thought I was like pretty smooth sailing a little bit, not gonna lie, but definitely has exposed my roster in all its faults with this raid.
If only someone would have told you this months ago, Dragon. Jeez.
Wow.
If only.
What do you? I didn't farm certain people. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. But I still had my Frozen team. That's all I'm gonna say. I still farmed them completely. I still have them. They're still working. But I'm doing a hybrid now, so it's getting a lot better. What are you?
Wait, based on your current, like, I don't know what tier you guys are doing it on every day or every couple of days, whatever you're doing it. Like, are you guys putting in like 5 good attempts every time? Like, I feel like I'm only putting in like 3 really good attempts, and then by the time I'm done with those 3 teams, like my other characters are like 7-star gear tier 4 or like gear tier 5. Their abilities aren't even upgraded, so it's like, yeah, I could throw them in to put some chip damage in, but it's like they're not even competitive at like tier 5, or we haven't tried heroic yet.
Yeah, for me, I have my one team. I put in super silence, and I do very good damage in whatever phase I'm in, and then I put the rest of my teams in, and they do abysmal damage.
Well, Sky High Fan and I were talking about this earlier. My whole perspective on tiers and leadership and stuff, because we're pushing to do heroic in basically 2 weeks. It's what it feels like.
There's no way.
Which doesn't make any sense.
No way.
Well, because, okay, so my club is in the top 60. And there's some people in the club, and I don't know if they're gonna watch this or not, but I'm just gonna put it out there because it's true. I mean, I see some of their rosters, and they're just farming characters. I mean, they're just farming characters. Maybe they're not gear tiering them up, or they might have like 6 stars. Some people don't even have a single 7-star character, and they have summoner scores of upwards of 6 figures, because there's only 2 people in our club who don't have 6 figures in terms of summoner score. I think one is like 85,000, one is 99,000. So basically only one person who doesn't have 6 figures in our club in terms of summoner score, and they don't even have a 7-star character. I'm not saying it's everyone, but there's certain people, and my theory is, if you want the top like 5 people, like I'll be honest, like our club right now has maybe like 2 or 3, maybe 4 whales, but they're not really, because they don't spend as much anymore. But maybe with coggers and stuff, they're gonna spend. But anyways, if they're okay with basically carrying the heroic tier, I'm fine with that. That's cool. And I'll be reaping the rewards. But I only have 8 characters, and the leaders told us recently they want us to have 10 heroic tier characters. And I'm looking at some of these people's rosters, and I'm just like, you're gonna come short. Some of you aren't even gonna come near this at all, because it's just not feasible. And I think someone isn't high enough level to even have gear tier 6. So that's my biggest concern, is just this whole thing where these top 100 clubs with some pretty good players, don't get me wrong, they're really trying to push for this heroic raid, even though their teams aren't ready for it. And they want us right now. Our guideline is like 1 more tier 4, 2 tier 5s, I believe, and then go on to heroic. And I'm just like, it's not happening. But you guys can try, waste the raid tickets, but you guys can try. That's my whole thing. I don't know what you guys think. I think Skyfan, you're a leader of a club. I'm not sure about Juice. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I recently demoted myself in my club, but. Yeah, I think what most people are going to find is that unless you're in a very, very competitive whaley club, you should probably just be doing tier 4. You're going to get the most rewards that way. Tier 5, if you can get through it in 2 days, probably worth it. I know I saw a chart somewhere. I can't remember the math exactly, but I think, if you can't get through a raid in 2 days, you should probably go down a tier.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on that. So our club's been clearing tier 5 in at least 2 days, but the leadership, after crunching the numbers and looking at the spreadsheets, I don't know them on the top of my head, but we made the decision just to keep farming tier 4, because we're farming it, we're clearing it in a matter of hours. So, I think the attraction of heroic is that concept where the health is significantly lower, but obviously there's more risk because you don't have multiple attempts. You have your teams and that's it. But I guess on the positive thing to think about is if that Oceanic team does work quite well. Imagine every person in your raid running that team, plus maybe 1 or 2 others. If you guys can really strategize the right way, I think heroic could be possible much earlier than we think. But I think once the raid team layouts are set for each phase and everyone's running the same team, I think heroic could be doable a lot earlier than we think, especially because Tinkerbell is in Sorcerer's Tournament Exchange, so is Merlin, so you can get those characters a lot quicker, aside from just depending on spending gems on energy refreshes and things like that. But I'm hoping we get to heroic soon, but I'm in no super urge to do it. I don't know, just because I don't have a lot of teams. That's just the thing that kind of holds me back.
And it's gonna take so long to unlock Ursula, even if you start heroic right now. It's not like you're gonna start heroic and then 2 weeks it's like, here's my 7-star Ursula. No, it's gonna take months. People are just pushing it too hard because they're thinking with their feelings, not their heads, as far as the math on how much rewards they can actually get.
But the rewards are good. I mean, the rewards are good. You do get a lot. I mean, the amount of dream fragments you got. I mean, I know that's not like the biggest thing, but dream fragments are kind of like your strange fibers, for instance. So they do add up. And I mean, I've seen people burn through them when they upgrade to like gear 7.5. So to have a good stockpile of that would be nice. But of course, the higher end, like getting stuff for a gear tier 8. You can get, I think you can complete some of them if I remember specifically, complete like maybe even just like 1 node of the 6 pieces just from 1 heroic. Maybe not 1 heroic raid, but you can get them pretty quickly, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, obviously the raid tokens are good. The raid milestones are good too.
Milestones are great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's just a matter of, I think it's worth giving it a shot. Obviously you're wasting a lot of raid tokens to actually start the raid, and obviously if you guys try it and you just fail right away, it's a good learning lesson for you. But there's nothing wrong with waiting a little bit till you know the right strats and then knowing which teams you're going to be using and kind of talking in your Discord, strategizing it out before you actually do it. But
yeah,
it's always something to work to.
Yeah, and we're finding that unless you're in like a really, really non-strict club, where you're not having problems with tickets. So if you try tier 5 and it's too hard, forfeit that shit. Call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the tickets don't matter really. They really don't.
Do you think they should lower down the tickets so you can get a day to make it more? I don't know. Like maybe bring it to 600 to like in Swaga.
I mean, if they do that, people riot, right?
That's true.
Yeah, I feel like I cap out on my raid tickets really quick. I don't know how many refreshes you guys are doing a day, but it feels like I'm already at maxed.
No, if you're VIP and you're getting all your bonus energy, if you just do the 3 standard energy 50 refreshes, you will hit your cap.
Oh yeah, I do that every day, and I've never not hit max, which is, I mean, it's good because then at least you never have to. I think that's one good thing. You never have to worry about raid tickets, which is nice. Yeah. But I just feel like there's a lot of waste at the same time, you know. What are you guys just keep on doing like tier 4? Is that what your club's been doing so far? Just repeating tier 4 over and over again? Or sorry, tier 4, sorry here.
Yeah, we were doing tier 4 for a while. We gave tier 5 a shot. It's taken us a little less than a day of phase, so I think that we'll finish it and then we'll go back to tier 4, kind of wait out a little bit, get some better strategies, get some better rosters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were clearing tier 5 in about 2 days, but like I said, after doing the math, I think the club decided that we would get more rewards faster in a shorter amount of time doing it on tier 4 by clearing that in 1 day compared to the 2 days for tier 5. So we jumped back down to tier 4. And from what I've heard, supposedly one of the Titans gave some strats for clearing heroic. So we may be trying that within the next couple days or so. So I'll have to kind of catch up on that and see how that goes. But yeah, just tier 4 right now.
Because you're up, right, Choose?
Yeah. Yep.
Up. They're in the top 20, just for those who are listening. So they have some really good players, just giving reference for that team. So I could definitely see you guys doing heroic within probably the next week or so. You guys could make the shiny leaderboard in the Discord for for those who have made heroic. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't even think I think we're still in top 10, to be honest with you. If you're gonna give my club a shout out, at least mention
Is it top? Okay.
Jeez,
let's go to DSA.
I'm like, even my club's almost top 20. We're 26.
Do your research.
Let me see. Where are you guys at? Up is number 11. So I was correct. Top 20. Excuse me. That's why I checked it earlier. I was like, I had to make sure you guys are number 11. You guys got taken over by Pride Lands 404 Elite by 40,000 summoner score.
Oh my.
The disrespect.
Where's CCD? CCD is number 33.
30? Oh, who went up?
I don't know. If things are going awry, I might have to look towards CCD. I did see you guys have an opening, just putting it out there. So,
you know, we always cycling for new people. We got 4 clubs now.
Yeah, 4 clubs now. That's pretty cool. That's pretty good.
Look, so I know we're talking about raid stuff, but I have a question for you guys too that's been on my mind a lot recently since the raid came out and Gear Tier 8 came out. We can move on to it after the raid, Dragon, if you had other stuff you want to talk about, but I definitely want to bring it up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I am very bothered about this whole Gear Tier 8 hero capping out at like 180 speed with his leadership at upgraded 3. How the hell is Glue going to balance this soon?
I mean, this is a good transition to our other topic because if the 2 characters of Beauty and the Beast have showed us anything, it's that Glue wants Big Hero 6 to no longer be the meta. And so I think that's how they balance it. The Glue way, they release characters that are somehow even more broken.
And you know what that is? Or Dragon, you were about to say something. I'll let you go.
Oh no. I mean, I haven't seen that so far. Like I don't have hero at Gear Tier 7, so I don't see what he has at Gear Tier 8 yet, for instance. But I think maybe I think one thing you should do is lower the leadership on him. Maybe reduce the speed boost by 5%. And that could help. Maybe not allowing him at Gear Tier 8 to have a speed stone. I don't know. That might help as well.
Yeah, and for Dragon, those who don't know, at gear tier 8 and gear tier 7 or I'll start at gear 7 going into gear 8. You unlock a 10 speed gear piece, and then a ability you are allowed to upgrade at gear 8 is your leadership, which gives 5% more speed. So it really just makes a problem much worse because it's already such a problem.
Because I think Gogo, like someone calculated too, at gear tier 8 with the speed stone, she has over 200 speed if I'm correct. I mean, hero's already a problem.
What is
Because
that?
currently my hero has the 7.5 piece with the speed. So with the tier 3 speed stone, he's at 140 exact. But what from what I'm seeing in Twitch chat right now, with a full gear tier 8 hero with a level 3 speed stone is 184.
What is that? It's garbage.
That's too much.
Going back to Beauty and the Beast things, I wanted to bring this up too. I think Glue's counter to this is going to be characters that give immediate effects as soon as the battle starts, and we can see that at the moment. I don't know if you wanted to go over the Beauty and the Beast stuff today too, Dragon, but
That's a big topic.
to talk about it. But Lumineer and Cogsworth both have passives that grant some type of effect to adjacent characters at the beginning of the fight. So I think Cogsworth gives defense up based on his current defense, and then Lumineer gives critical chance. So I'm really excited to see what Belle does. I'm sure Belle's going to give like speed meter. Sure, she's going to give like haste or something. We don't know what Beast is going to give. Maybe attack up. If these characters give really insane buffs at the start of the battle, I think that could help negate some of that high speed that comes from Big Hero 6, because Baymax was so good because that instant taunt at the beginning of the fight, and that's what I hate him for because he's so annoying. But that's my only way I think that's going to start slowing them down a little bit, is if you're going against characters that get immediate buffs at the start. But what do you guys think?
That's a really great point.
Sky High fan, I know he's ticked off already. Because he got mad at me too because I called him Luminaire, but he's like, it's Lumiere.
Lumiere.
It's There's no N. I always thought there was an N.
There's no
Did I say
N.
Lumineer?
Yeah, because I said the same thing too before, and then Sky Fan roasted me as a aficionado of Disney. He got mad at me. He said, "There's no N. It's Lumiere, not Lumineer."
Call Pascal a gecko, and now Luminaire. It's all wrong.
And Clocksworth as well.
Clocksworth.
But anyways, no, I definitely agree with that. I think when you see what, because I from what I remember, Cogsworth does defense down, and Lumiere does continuous damage, or crit damage buff or something like that at the beginning of turns. If I'm correct. I can't remember.
See. It's a crit chance for Lumiere.
It's a crit chance.
It's a 10% of this character's crit chance as a bonus crit chance to adjacent teammates.
So
and then
something I feel like we need to accept too, like when I was going over the kits on stream today, like I was looking at those two characters in like a PvP/sorcerer tournament perspective, and I kept forgetting that the raid is out right now. So it's like I need to start evaluating these characters as like raid characters too. So it's kind of tricky. Like it's going to take a lot of testing to decide like which modes these characters are going to be really good in, or this new Beauty and the Beast team is going to be really good in. But it's like it may not be fair to completely judge them based on how good they are in PvP. But it's like Glue may be starting to design a lot of raid teams now, where it's like, if that's what you want to go for, if you want to buff up your teams to hopefully progress your heroic or maybe tier 5, maybe this may be the team for you. But it's kind of interesting to think about too, now that the raid's finally in the game, where it's like, well, these teams are actually used in other places aside from just PvP and ST.
That's true. I think Lumiere and Cogsworth, because they can do defense and continuous damage, they're going to be very effective in raids, especially putting on those negative effects on any boss, and also putting that continuous damage is going to be really effective. I've seen people do some pretty good continuous damage. I mean, like a couple thousand, depending on how level the character is on a boss. And since the bosses already do continuous damage and poison and stuff like that, it's kind of good to put that back on them. So I think with this team, to be able to put that defense down and the continuous damage, at least so far, that's all we know so far with Lumiere and Cogsworth, it's going to be a pretty good duo so far from what we see.
Do you guys think this is going to be like the Frozen event where they initially released Kristoff and Sven, and then they didn't really show anything about Anna and Elsa, and then they're going to release Mrs. Potts and then show Beast and probably Belle after that?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. I think if I were to guess, since Big Hero 6 was 6 characters, and I know that is a specific thing to that movie, but I think that they saw that they could get away with doing a legendary team of 6 characters instead of 5 because it makes them more money. So I think we're going to see a 6-character team again. And if you two remember, when Sven and Kristoff came out, they weren't very good. They didn't beat Kingdom at all. But it was only when they got all the bonus synergies from the rest of their team that they really shined. And Cogsworth and Lumiere seem pretty good, but they definitely don't seem meta-defining. But I think that's because we're waiting on the rest of their team,
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem, because I remember when Frozen first came out, like, I don't know, I didn't really feel any pressure to buy those characters and get those characters geared up because you want to see the rest of the characters first. But definitely by now, at this point where we're at in the game, especially as like an end game player, there is no way I'm going in on these characters until I've seen the rest of the other characters and I've seen definitely their true potential. Because I'm not saying Belle and Beast and Mrs. Potts kits are going to be poor. They're most likely going to be pretty decent. They're going to have synergy with the other characters, but it's like, I'm not going in on these characters just yet. I'll have someone else do it, or I'll wait till they actually come out.
See, with legendary characters, I actually completely disagree. Because you need to farm them now to get them on the second pass. Like,
I guess though, Sky, like, I remember when the Kristoff and Sven bundle first came out, like, they put a limited time on those bundles. So people are like, I need to get these characters bundles before they actually come out. And then when the actual Frozen event came out, they brought back the same Kristoff and Sven bundle. So I feel like if you're on the verge of buying either the Lumiere or the Cogsworth bundle, like, they're going to bring them back when the actual Beauty and the Beast bundle comes back. So you can hold off, but if you buy them now and they come back again and you buy them again, you're going to be way ahead of the game. But I feel like there's people that already have them there's already people that have them at 7-star gear tier 7 because they spent the 800 gem bundles too.
Yeah, and I was more so referring to you should if you need to stop what you're farming and farm these two is more so my point. The bundles, I completely agree with you. Don't spend the real money on it because you can spend the money later. But with the nature of farming that you have to do it for a long time, I think that if you want to not spend a lot of money on this and you want to get a 7-star legendary character the second pass, you need to start farming a legendary team as soon as they come out. And I haven't bought a single bundle for a legendary character, and both times I've 7-starred it the second pass. And you really just need to focus on it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have the foresight to do that now, you're going to be rewarded in like 2 months.
I feel like if Glue does 2 things that they've learned from previous events, I think this Beauty and the Beast event could be really good. I think the first thing is if they keep doing those double token drops that they do in Big Hero 6, those are really, really good. I mentioned this on my stream a lot, but during the first pass of Big Hero 6, I didn't spend a dime on the whole entire event, but I was able to get Honey Lemon a 7-star just because I farmed her all week. And then especially on the double token drops, I got her on like the Sunday before the event ended. And then I didn't even buy any of her bundles. So that's definitely really nice. I think the second thing too is if Glue finally gets their act together and kind of switches up the exchange, maybe they put a character in there, a Beauty and the Beast character or something in there that can kind of help us farm. But I don't know if they'll do it. Who knows? Probably not. But
I don't think
really nice too.
Maybe after like the third pass, or maybe after the second pass, because as we saw with Big Hero 6, they put Hero and all those guys into the raid exchange, but that was after the second pass, or during the second pass, I guess, but maybe towards that time, but definitely not like the first pass of the. We lost Juicy for a second. Oh no, the servers.
Maybe because I'm the newest club councilman. And I have that shiny badge around my logo. That's probably why.
You didn't get the 250 gammas that I got, so that's why.
To be rich.
That's actually another topic we should talk about. Okay, that was so random, but those are the little frames. Those little frames. It's not from what I've noticed so far, it's not for the people who like whaled, for instance. I've seen random people get it in my club, and I'm like, you haven't spent a dime in this game, but you got it. How?
There's a very strange requirement that I have no idea what it is.
Is it you can't criticize the game? Is that it?
I don't. Well, I'll never get it then. I'll never get this.
Criticized this game many times on stream too, so that definitely doesn't count it.
I don't know. As long as they don't go like Capital Games where like they ban people for criticizing the game, I'm fine with that. That's good. Give everyone besides me the little fancy frame. Good.
You know what? I don't. And by the way, before my equipment started failing on you guys, sorry about that. I did say that I think Beast is going to be the legendary character to answer your question. But as far as the councilman question, I think I don't even care if they took if they went back in my account and took it away based on like if they do a whole like blue fairy magic thing that they did months and months ago, they do that same thing. I wouldn't really care. It's just cosmetic. I care more about the actual talismans and stuff that I've collected as well. But I don't know. I know there's people that like I said, I started the game 3 weeks after the game came out. I've been in Twitch chat with people that started right when I did. They don't have it. I don't know if it's about money. I don't know if it's about VIP or pass holder. I don't know if it's about doing those surveys that we did on their Discord about like which characters would you want to see in the game. I don't know. There's people in Titans that don't have it yet. It's just some beta players don't have it. They're probably being sent out right now. We just got to be a little bit patient.
I think it has to be random too. I think it might just be completely random. So just luck of the draw, basically getting it. You don't think so?
No, because I feel whales have consistently got it more. Not to say that whales exclusively got it, but the percentage of people getting it is much higher for higher summoner scores.
You know, I'm going to say this really quick because it just came in on my end. Supposedly, the requirement was to post their player code on Twitch for the sweepstakes or Twitter. Remember the Twitter giveaways?
Mm-hmm. I've done it a ton of times.
You've done it a ton of times?
Yeah, same here.
You guys, who doesn't have it? You guys don't have it?
I don't have it.
Yeah. I don't have it either.
All right, I think we're going to have to end this podcast. I'm not allowed to speak to people that aren't councilmen.
Is that what the chat's saying? I haven't looked at the chat in a little bit, but...
No. I don't know.
We will give you a seat at the council, but we won't give you the rank of master.
Can you put the frame around my webcam, and then you guys just have a blend? Yeah.
I could probably get that, honestly. I could probably find it and put around Juice's thing just for jokes.
Yeah. Are you guys even bummed about it or frustrated about it, or is it just like a whatever thing?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason I would care is if, let's say, like, I know we've been joking about this, but like, let's just say, like, okay, those with the frame get like 5, like, I don't know, every month they get 25 beta ruins, then I'd be pissed off. Something like that, because it's like, why do they get that just because they have a little frame and they didn't do anything else? That's the only time I'd be like pissed off, if there was like an actual like in-game bonus for having the frame around, you know, your profile picture. That's about it.
Your characters deal 25% more damage at the start of the fight.
Exactly. Something like that would piss me off.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll know by probably tomorrow about what happened or what they're going to do about it.
Oh yeah, for sure. People will probably get at the refresh. More people probably get it, and we'll see what it does. Maybe it's just like a happy feeling frame. I don't know. Make people feel better. That's about
what I hope it is. I hope it is that they don't list like the money that you spent. Like if they show like had to spend this much money, I'm gonna be like, oh god, I spent this much money on a Disney mobile game. Oh my!
I know how much money I spent.
Someone asked me on stream.
Yeah, wasted.
Someone asked me on stream today, and I think I gave them a ballpark number around like I'm gonna be honest, like about $300. I'm not gonna lie, in total probably.
I think I'm just over 200.
Juice, you want to answer?
I'm gonna not disclose that information.
But I'll explain. So mine has been passports. I have bought 2 platinum passports. I'm gonna be honest with that, and I've consistently bought VIP. So those, and you know what gets me is a little like anniversary bundles, like $5. Like, look at this cool talisman. It's Mickey Mouse, a Steamboat Mickey. I get like, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I have to get it. I don't want to get left out. That's like the feeling I get with those anniversary bundles.
Yeah, I've only bought 1 bundle, and it was one of those $2 energy bundles on a double drop day. It's the only time I bought a bundle.
Dude, those are good. Like the $1 or $2 value packs. Those
$2
can
on
come
double
in.
drop, insane value. Insane value.
Oh yeah, very good value.
You know, I think to be honest with you guys, I think kind of looking back, obviously my spending's decreased significantly since like obviously I've learned more about the game and I've learned how to evaluate characters more and knowing like, okay, should I spend on these characters or not or whatnot. I don't know. I've probably spent close to probably $1,000 on this game thinking about it. Thinking about like Zerg on my first pass, my Oceanics, Frozen on its first pass. Frozen was a hard reset for me because I went downtown Villains, and after Kingdom just kept wiping the floor with me, so I needed a new team, so I went all in on Frozen. It's probably around that number, which is nowhere near probably a lot of other whales out there. They're probably thousands and thousands deep. And from what I've heard, you guys play Galaxy of Heroes, isn't like $1,000 for one character in that game or something like that?
I quit 4 years ago, you know.
Yeah.
I'm doing free to play, so I have no clue. But I know Crixus is in the chat on your Twitch stream. But he gave me insight of how much the Tritons spend. And so, you know, like when someone gets $100 gem packs, right? You get like a little bundle, right? Like every teammate gets that. So Crixus told me that they get every day between 15 and 30 of those. So just imagine that's roughly what, $1,500 to $3,000 from one club every day. You multiply that by what? 30 days. That's 90,000.
You have 2 players in there that are free to play now.
Yeah. Do you realize that from that one club, you can roughly, if they were to do 30 a day, that's almost $1 million in revenue in a year. I just did the math in my head.
Crixus is in Frontierland, isn't he? Or is
no, he's in Titans.
He should be in my club.
I'm mistaken.
He was in my club and then he left for Titans. I miss his club gifts. Please come back. Come back. I want your club gifts.
Sorry, Crixus. We had to put you on the spot there, but yeah, it was just open information that I was aware of. But I think the real question that we should be answering is how many Olay gifts did you guys get during Tapjoy offers?
2, but that was a couple times ago.
What about you, Juice? Is your skin more fresh now?
I think the real question is, has Dragonslay bought the Lawnmower 3.0 so he's able to shave his bits without any nicks or cuts?
No, I didn't. I didn't get it from what's it called, Dollar Shave Club. I did not get that. I did get my shipment from Dollar Shave Club. I think I got the shampoo and something. I was like, yeah, that's all I need. But I did not get the lawnmower. But I'm very.
The reason why I haven't done, I think I got one Tapjoy off forever. I think it was just a Dollar Shave Club. But you guys know I'm on iOS. But like the first time I got the Tapjoy offer, like it took almost a week to get my damn gems. Like I had to put in a ticket. I had to send them the receipt. I know it's better on Android.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I'm not doing this again if it's gonna take this long to get my gems. I'm like, hell no.
Got my gems right away. $20, 20,000 gems.
Are you iOS? Are you iOS 2? Scott?
I am originally, but now I'm BlueStack, so
that's probably why. So mine's a mixture of using my Samsung and then also BlueStacks. But I will say, Samsung, like, I mean, on the phone when I play the game, it looks a lot nicer graphically.
Circling back to Beauty and the Beast, I had a couple things I wanted to...
Yeah, go for it.
And it mostly has to do with farming them and just all the new farmable characters they added and what how you should prioritize them. And the thing I'm going to go back to is the old phrase that you don't have to be faster than the bear, you just have to be faster than the guy next to you, right? So for instance, like Cogsworth and Lumiere. Lumiere is only available in hard nodes, while Cogsworth is available in Grand Campaign, right? So you're going to be able to farm Cogsworth quite a bit faster, but you only need to farm Cogsworth as fast as you're farming Lumiere, maybe a little ahead in case there's some double drop situation. So you don't have to completely abandon what you're going for, because you don't need to rush Lumiere 7 stars, really, unless you want to use him in your main team before you get the rest of that team up. You can most likely take your time, and if you have another project, maybe finish that project, and then you have time to start Lumiere. But And it's going to be a similar situation with Sensational 6, where most of us are going to have the least Donald shards. So work on your Donald. You don't really have to worry about Goofy or Daisy until he catches up to them. So it doesn't, even though there's 5 new farmable characters that came out today, you don't have to completely change your rotation. You just have to make a priority list and a game plan, and definitely farm Cogsworth. He's the one that you farm, no question.
I'm definitely like gonna, once I'm finished farming Go-Go, because I'm like, I think I'm at 7 or something out of 100, going straight into Cogsworth, that's for sure.
But you can prioritize it too. Like if for some reason you were on track to be able to get all the characters 5-star for Beast in time, let's say, without spending in this secret world that doesn't exist because it's not going to be possible. But like Go-Go doesn't need to be 7 stars until Baymax comes back.
True.
So it's like you can legendary characters or characters that are required for legendaries, you can compartmentalize their farming because they don't need, whether it's 7-star the day after the event ends or it's 7-star the day the next event starts in 2 months. It's going to be a similar outcome.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I didn't think about that. It just, for me though, I'm totally with you, Sky, by the way, and thanks for the farming strats. Really, really good. For me, it's more like I'm at like 63 out of 100 for 7-star Go-Go, and I'm the same as Dragon. I'm gonna get her. I'd like to get her 7-star and then move on to Cogsworth as well. But it's just kind of like OCD for me. It's like I want to finish her before I move on to the next. But yeah, it's a great point. Like, yeah, when the Big Hero 6 event ends, there's really, if you're not going to be using her, there's no reason to get her to 7-star until the event comes back. So yeah, it would be more strategical with energy and time to start working on Cogsworth right away. I think it's just a matter of personal preference, but you may have convinced me. We'll see what I do.
Yeah, and it's just a thing. It's your account, and you have to evaluate it yourself. No one can tell you exactly what to do. But if you look at when I don't have it on hand or anything, but you can see when events are likely going to come, when people are predicting they're going to come, how long it's been since they came, and you can strategize your farming based on that to get the most out of every single event.
Sky Fan's basically my teacher in this game. He tells me who to farm, and then I go after it. I did not listen to him for a while, which is why I don't have Baymax yet.
That's our Baymax, $0 spent. Just saying.
It's true.
No bundles.
But I do like the fact that they were able to bring in Sensational 6. I just kind of wish they brought at least one of the characters in the Grand Campaign, because it's just so long with Elite Battles to farm characters.
He's in Grand Campaign.
Oh, he is? Okay, I didn't see that part. Never mind. Forget what I said.
Another thing with that event is that's going to be a Moana, Toy Story, Incredibles-esque event, most likely. So you don't need to prioritize farming them that much, because even if you have them, you're not going to get that many tokens from having them, unlike a legendary event.
That's true. That's like another character I'm kind of confused about right now. Is like, you see all the things with like Steamboat Mickey, right? What do you guys think something's going to come out of that, or is it just like an anniversary one-time thing?
I think they did it just to annoy me, because it destroyed all the values of farming Steamboat Mickey from the token exchange. I think that they did it just to piss me off. That's my theory.
How about you, Juice?
Like, are you asking what's that last fit form of Mickey's going to be? Is that what the question was?
Or like, do you think it's going to lead to like maybe another event, or do you think it's going to lead to another like character series, for instance, like faction, for instance, like old school, that type of Mickey? And
I mean, I guess to make it quick, like obviously if Daisy, Goofy, and Donald were kind of the first half, I think the second half, what people are speculating, it's Mickey, Minnie, and Pluto or something like that. I think it's going to be Mickey in his regular form, Minnie just as well. I don't think it's going to be any like King Mickey or any crazy Kingdom Hearts shit or anything like that. But it's going to be pretty much basic. But I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, they got their eyes on Beauty and the Beast right now. It's going to be probably a while till that comes out, maybe.
Because I joked about this. I was like, well, they're already bringing like regular Mickey, have Steamboat Mickey, have Sorcerer's Mickey. They should just put in Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and some random Mickey so I can go 5-character Mickey and just go ham just for fun. Even if they're not good, I just want to use that for fun. That just sounds so cool.
The hot dog dance Goofy, because
exactly.
Like, hot dog dance Goofy.
These are just crazy ideas.
I have 2 more things.
You have 2 more things? Okay.
Second is this is just a good thing for legendary characters in general, and just whaling in general, is if the character isn't support and you're in the late game, it's probably useless unless it's 7 stars. So if you whale for a 5-star, let's say Beast is a legendary, and he's probably going to be either a strict damage dealer or a damage dealer tank. I think it's, maybe it's Belle and maybe she's support. We don't know. But if the legendary character is not support, if you get it to 5 stars and you're in late game, that character will be unusable. So it's okay if you want to whale. If you want to whale and you want to spend money on it, get that 7-star legendary. But if you are focused farming, you're better off just waiting, getting it the second past 7 stars, and not spending for that 5th star, because it's really not going to do anything unless you're in the early or mid game.
So if you're gonna whale, just go all out and whale.
But don't middle of the ground whale, because that's a waste of money. If whaling big time is worth it to you money wise, it's not for me personally, but if it's you, great, do it, spend your money. That's what the game's for, right? But there's just not a lot of value in going for the mid-level whale, is what my point is, and a lot of people don't realize, and they make mistakes with their money.
Wait, you guys may have to remind me, but wasn't Baymax so good on the first Big Hero 6 pass that he was playable at 5 or 6 star? Like, if your other characters were 7 star, like tier 7, you could still put in a pretty low Baymax and he could still be pretty damn good. I don't remember.
People were at first they were doing that because people just weren't prepared for auto taunt, but then it got in situations where if people knew, like, it's a hard thing with this game is that a lot of times people don't make correct decisions, but if people know your Baymax is 6 stars, they can just focus down your Baymax and kill them really quick. So it's one of the things that it can work out, but if people are playing correctly and you're in that late game, it won't. If you're in kind of a mid game, or you're not very competitive, you're in your 100-something in your Sorcerer's tournament, and you hang around Platinum, if you're around there, your 6-star Legendary is going to be great. But if you're in those higher tier Sorcerer tournaments, in those higher tier PvPs, I don't see 6-star being worth it, because you're looking at like 24% health and attack. And if you're a damage dealer or a defensive character, like a tank, you need those stats so badly.
Yeah, I was just going to say that because you brought up the idea that Beast could be some type of like pure damage dealer or some type of damage dealer / taunter. And yeah, I mean, if he's getting taunt, he's going to be taking damage. You need to have those stats to back him up for sure.
And that's just a good rule of thumb. It's are they support? Okay, if they're not support, then they basically need to be 7 stars once you get past the mid game.
I'm estimating, so we already know that Lumiere is offense. Obviously, Cogsworth is defense. I don't know. I'm feeling like Belle could either be support or offense, and I'm pretty sure Mrs. Pot's going to be support. But also, I was thinking for Belle, do you guys think she could possibly be like a princess lead?
I could see it. I could see her having a lead with dual usability, like a Beauty and the Beast and a princess lead, but probably not. If I were just to guess, they kind of have showed me that they don't really care about the princess tag.
Kind of sucks, because I also realize that like what's Anna and Elsa are not part of that princess tag either.
Well, okay, that's something a lot of people don't understand, because Disney has a Disney princess line, and Anna and Elsa actually aren't included in that official Disney princess line.
Oh,
so that's probably a licensing thing, because they're not considered Disney princesses.
Yeah, that's I was thinking that if Belle has some type of leadership for both Beauty and the Beast and princesses, the first thing I could think would be really cool. Obviously, I'm not saying it would be similar to Hero's leadership, but if somehow Belle's leadership gave speed, be amazing. But the thing I was most interesting, I was talking about this earlier on stream, was like if she buffed other princesses, like imagine seeing characters like Merida become valuable. Like imagine seeing Mulan making a comeback. A lot of those characters have those princesses tags. It'd be cool to see them come in once in a while. And if her leadership is damn good, it's like, yeah, it could be possible.
That could make them actually an effective tower in Club Conquest. That would be kind of cool to see.
Yep. And they have some really cool kits. Like, I don't know how much everyone knows about Mulan and Merida's kits, but there's two of the coolest kits in the game, I think.
Yeah. And Pocahontas too is a princess tag, so she's hard to use. And
they need to
imagine if she made a comeback.
It's impossible. She's so slow.
That's the point. That's why Belle needs to come in and put that speed for the princesses.
No, but it would have to be 100% to make her viable.
Is she the slowest character in the game?
It's either tied for slowest or tied for second slowest.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to say, Belle's leadership is going to say, give all princesses 10% speed, except for Pocahontas. She gets 50% speed. ...
And she's still slower than everyone.
Well, in order to compete with a 184 speed hero, you're gonna have to give the other factions some help there, because they're not gonna even compete with that. That's gonna be way too out of reach.
And then I had my one last and my shortest of the 3 points is it's
By
just
the way,
little...
I'm gonna interrupt you really quick. I'm happy like you're the only one that took notes. Like I looked at the list a little bit before this, but I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of winging this right now. So Sky did his homework. I did not do my homework. I'm looking at Twitch chat. I'm looking at you guys. I'm trying to participate. So Sky, keep kicking ass. Keep going.
I just analyze everything the second I see it because my brain doesn't. Here we are. But I want to touch on Lumiere's passive because I think it has some really interesting foresight into how we're going to see the meta shift and how Glue thinks it's going to, because it has the at the start of battle crit chance effect like we've already talked about, but the second section of it reads on this character or adjacent teammates receiving blind, 30% chance to cleanse blind, and then that can get boosted for Kingdom teammates and get up to 100% for Beauty and Beast teammates depending on what level it is. What this is a Ursula playable character counter, because if you haven't read Ursula's kit, when her eels die and when she falls below 50% health, she puts out a AoE blind to everyone for free. It's a passive. So what I'm seeing here is they're saying, yo, Ursula's a problem in our test servers. Lumiere, enter the field. So that's another thing we're going to see.
Be our guest.
Yeah. We're going to see, Cogsworth also has a passive with a similar ability to do with slows, and that's something that's good against Big Hero 6. But this one, you see, it's actually geared towards a future meta, which I think is really cool. I just think it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, I'm either thinking it could be for future meta. That's what I'm hoping for. But just imagine, Lumiere is the crit chance. Cogsworth is the defense up. Belle is haste. Mrs. Potts is something else, and then Beast is attack up. Can you imagine 5 characters all giving adjacent characters buffs at the start of the match? That's the only way I can think of really Big Hero 6 getting phased out, if that is what they're aiming for, because I don't know how else they're going to do it. We talked about the hero speed earlier.
Has Mrs. Potts been announced? I don't think she has, because I think it's going to be more...
If you look at the passive, look at Lumiere's passive.
Dang it. I was like, I think it's going to be Maurice instead. Oh my goodness.
Or maybe you plug in Shan Yu for a leadership there? I don't know.
I mean, if new teams have taught me anything, is that they completely outclass everything else in their faction. So I think Shan Yu's lead is going to be pale in comparison to whoever broken lead we get.
I know, that's true.
He'll just be there. I feel bad. I wonder, for the Aladdin team, if they could bring in the dad, Jasmine's dad, just to make it a full Aladdin team and give him a lead and make it just spice it up, because I want the Aladdin team to be good again. That's what I want.
He has an ability where he stacks those animals and they fall on his enemy.
Or they do the Prince Ali dance and oh no, it just slows everyone down or something. I have no clue. That's his special ability. I just want Kingdom to be great again, and it looks like Kingdom is going to be great again with this team. I'm just thinking, Beauty and
It's
the Beast.
Kingdom, but it's not Kingdom. It's Beauty and the Beast. It's in the same
That's
way
true.
that Big Hero 6 isn't Downtown Heroes. No one says, yeah, look how good people forget they have the Downtown Hero tag, really.
Mhm.
It's it's a legendary team. This is really showing that they're gonna, assuming this is gonna completely outclass Big Hero 6 like we've seen, or at least to an extent outclass them. If you don't like the meta changing like this, you probably want to get out now. Like, Glue's kind of set themselves up to say, hey, every 2 or 3 months we're going to do a new legendary that redefines the meta. So if you like this game and you accept it for what it is, and it's every 3 months there's going to be a brand new legendary meta for the time being. And
That's true.
I think that's fun. Like, for me, this is great because I just like farming. I just like planning my events. I just like everything lining up like I predicted it to. That's what's fun for me. So, but if that's not fun for you, it's better to realize what you like and dislike about the game now. Is my point.
Give me one word, yes or no.
Okay.
The 5th character in the Beauty and the Beast team will not be Lumiere or Cogsworth or Mrs. Potts or Belle or Beast. It will be Gaston.
Maurice. Oh.
Gaston. Gaston.
It's funny because on my Discord, people are like, someone's like, you're gonna be crying when I have a 7-star gear 8 Gaston and you don't, and you realize he's gonna be the key to that team. And I was like,
Mm-mm.
Maybe a
Like,
rework. Maybe a
Like
rework. We don't know.
Possibly.
Hero 6, right?
Honestly, I still don't know how to use yokai. I'm just gonna be honest.
Put him in Club Conquest. Look, I taught you how to use yokai.
But I mean,
I don't know. Maybe we'd see a rework. I probably wouldn't expect it, but I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
it could work because they have reworked some characters slightly. Like, I mean, they've tweaked Hero, I guess, but a Gaston one would be nice.
I wouldn't be surprised by a Gaston rework, but I think it'd be something similar to like Calhoun and Syndrome and Korra's reworks, where they got a lot better, but they still suck. Like, that's how I think a Gaston rework would be.
Or it's like they don't shine until the gear tier 7 or 8, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I mean that's something that's less so going to be something that's changed. That's something that's gonna, when we do see characters change versus gear levels, it's probably going to be because of ability upgrades or huge speed increases. So I mean, I guess they have shown the ability to change gear pieces like they did with Jasmine forever ago when they gave her speed gear. But I mean, most likely, even if Gaston gets a buff, they're going to have to give him a hell of a buff to make him good.
I swear, if it's Hero, if Hero's the final slot with his leadership, no.
Oh, yeah.
He's been plugged so many times.
On Belle does something insane.
I mean,
Micro barrier.
Things have to be pretty ridiculous for me to take Hero out of my squad, because man, is that character degenerate in every way.
Yeah.
Like, what a terrible character for the health of the game.
Right.
He's in every team. But do you guys have any other topics? Because I just have one more.
All you.
No.
Juice? No? Okay, so I guess...
When are you going to call out our sponsors?
Smart Mouth.
This podcast is sponsored by
Smart
DSA
Mouth.
Gems and Olay and the Lawnmower 3.0.
I guess my one topic I want to ask you guys is, so we already know that we're getting Beauty and the Beast, right? And we're getting Sensational 6. Do you think we're still going to get Miguel by the end of the year, or do you think we're going to get any new characters? Because, let's talk about that real quick. Miguel was trolled by everyone. Like, we gotta get Miguel. We're gonna get Miguel. He's gonna be the next legendary. He's gonna be the next legendary. And then they're like, here's Lumiere and Cogsworth. So I don't know. What do you guys think? We're gonna get any other new characters besides Sensational 6 Part 2, and obviously the rest of Beauty and the Beast characters by the end of the year, and it's creeping up.
I think there has to be some type of release near Christmas. I think there has to be.
Christmas
just
packs.
for money's sake. Just from there has to be some type of release to make people spend money near that time. Yeah, so I think we're gonna see something around there because it's just a good business decision.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you guys, I wasn't this Beauty and the Beast thing came out of left field for me. I wasn't expecting any new characters for quite some time. I was just thinking that obviously they were going to ride this whole raid coming out for a couple weeks or maybe a month just to get people settled in and whatnot. I think with the whole Beauty and the Beast thing, that could lead all the way to December, where we may see like Nightmare Before Christmas, Santa Jack costume, something like that.
Yeah.
I honestly thought with holidays coming up, they were gonna not give their employees a break, but kind of slow down some of the content, some of the releasing stuff. But if they have all this stuff already made or close to being released, who knows? They may keep pushing it out toward the end of the year. But yeah, it's hard to predict. I kind of got proved wrong based on this current release right now.
Let me just say, their hiring department has been on vacation for like 3 months already. But no, I totally agree because I've been applying there several times, but they obviously do not want my input. Going on that, no, I totally agree. Like, it was funny because last week when they dropped raids, right, there was some people like in my club Discord like, oh my gosh, this week's news update was terrible. They just brought us Baymax and all these things. I'm like, guys, they literally brought in new PvE content to the game, the biggest PvE content I've ever got, and you're already complaining after 3 days after you get it. And then now we get this and everyone's like, we have to start farming now, we have to do this and that. I'm like, did you guys want big news and now you get it and you guys are like freaking out? But I totally agree. Like, I think they should just calm down a little bit with let the raid sit in, because people have barely figured it out. Honestly, so it's been like a week and a half, people just figuring it out, really. And then be like, it'd be nice to throw in a little more hectics into the game, and maybe you could spend some money. Because I calculated for like Lumiere and Cogsworth, it's like $100 and like $50, or no, $190 something, I believe, to get all. If you bought all 3 bundles, like the max will let you get, and that's a great money making thing because they already know what they're doing.
Yeah,
I mean, aside from like maybe Trident or Eric bundles, unless people are going in on Big Hero 6 on the second pass, there hasn't been really much cash grabby stuff lately. So I know based on their earnings reports, their numbers have been down. Well, I don't know if their numbers have been down a little bit, but I don't know if they're trying to make up for stuff they've lost, or they're just trying,
I think it's a good strategy. I think people they release raids and they say, hey, look, you need a bigger roster, and they say, hey, here's some new characters to fill that roster. I think this is all exactly to their plan.
Not just any character, a legendary character.
It's like, wow, and this character, he's going to do everything you want in raid and PvP. Wow, he's going to redefine the meta.
Actually, I was just thinking about
this character because you're so hyped on this game.
I was just thinking about this too, because Belle and Beast have like they have like a holiday, like there's a Beauty and the Beast like holiday film as well, so you could totally see them.
Beast, the Enchanted Christmas.
Exactly, they could totally do like the Christmas packs, like because they've already kind of speculated. I'm thinking probably they're gonna do Christmas packs, and they're gonna be like, did you know Belle has another skin? Did you want to use it? Put it in those packs. Great, or even like maybe Olaf in summer type of thing. That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, her default costume will be like her regular like blue dress or outfit that she wears. Then her $29.99 is gonna unlock you the full snow outfit with her.
Yellow
full bundled up.
The yellow outfit's gonna be her skin, guys.
Oh, the yellow dress.
She could have
That's an easy skin. Glue's not gonna pass that. No way.
They can have 3 skins for Beast and Belle. They could have Beast as, kind of like the hermit he was, and then they have Beast in his, ball gown type of thing, and they have Beast Christmas and, Belle.
Who wouldn't buy Human Beast? What a good skin.
Human Beast,
they change all the animations. They have a completely new set of animations. $50 skin. Sells out the
might as well be another character.
Exactly. No, but think about that. People would go crazy. Here's $50 for my Beast to look different. Sure. You can make him hot,
Yeah, by the way, Glue, if you're watching, you can send the invoice to Club 33 Podcast. Sky High Fan Dragon Slayer Games in my juice box.
We'll take the sponsorship.
There you go. Free ideas.
We'll take gems. I'll take gems. or employment.
Yeah,
either
you
way.
you can give them some councilman from frames. I already got mine, but you can give me some.
I want to
you
be
can give me
like
the
I want to be the grand chairman or like the chairman of the council for this. What's the Summoners Council? I want to be the executive chairman of the council. Yeah. I'll take that title. So is that gonna be it for us, guys? Did we talk all about our stuff?
That's all that comes to mind. I had my 3 bits I wanted to get out there, and I got them out there. Feel good.
Juicy.
I think we went off the rails, but I think in a really good way.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I definitely would like to condense this a little bit our next go around, but I think this is a great starting point.
I think we need to be more concise with our topics. I think that was the problem, and really,
if only people wrote down the topics they wanted to talk about or something.
If only people looked at the topics before they actually clicked the Discord call. I'll get feedback from Twitch chat. We've had people kind of tuning in the whole time, so we'll get some feedback. We'll probably discuss this with you guys too, but this was hella fun.
I feel really good about it. It's just, next time a bit shorter, but we're doing the right things, I think.
So I guess I'll wrap it up for us, guys.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, guys, this is Dragon Slayer, Mice, Juicebox, and Skyfan. Thank you so much for watching our first edition of Club 33, a DSA podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to check out Juice's Twitch stream and Skyfans, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one, guys. See ya.
See ya.
Bye, guys.